Oh man, this story is just so amazing. So he turned into a snake, and then what happened? Pharaoh was like, "Oh, I didn't know you become a magician as well. All right, all right. Guess what? Hey, call all my wise men. Everybody come here, and all the sorcerers." One of the stories that I found very interesting is the story of Moses. I think it was a unique character that God used to bring the Israelites out of Egypt, out of the slavery that they were in. So the time when God called Moses and told him he's gonna go and meet Pharaoh, and he has to, tell Pharaoh that they should let his people go. God speaking here, and one of the things God told him was that, see the rod in your hand, I want you to cast it to the ground, and he did. And what happened? One of the things that happened was the rod turned into a snake. A snake. That's one of the most creepiest animal that I can imagine. Like snake. I'm sure a lot of people relate to this when it comes to snake. Snake is just disgusting, I mean, I know there's some people that eat snakes. I don't want to mention the country here. Maybe I would, who knows? But they eat snake, and God told him, okay, so this snake, I want you to pick it up by the tail. And Moses was like, I ain't doing that. He said, pick it up, don't be afraid. Okay, and he did, and he turned back into a stick. That was quite very interesting. So, I want you to now think about this. The first meeting with Moses going back to see Pharaoh, when God said he should tell Pharaoh that he should let my people go. So he went there. As God has told him, he went with his brother, his senior brother Aaron, and he told him, God said, let my people go. They have to go and worship me. They have to go and do certain sacrifice. And what did Pharaoh did? He said, no, sorry, that's not going to happen. So Aaron cast his rod to the floor, and lo and behold, the rod turned into a snake. Oh man, this story is just so amazing. So he turned into a snake, and then what happened? Pharaoh was like, "Oh, I didn't know you become a magician as well. All right, all right. Guess what? Hey, call all my wise men. Everybody come here." And all the sorcerers. It's quite interesting that the Bible actually said wise men and the sorcerers. And if you look at the dictionary when it comes to sorcerers, there are people that do the supernatural stuffs through black magic. This is what the dictionary says. So it's even quite very clear that they even know what the sorcerers mean. So as the story continues, I want you to imagine this, right? What's the time frame at which Aaron cast his rod, and then Pharaoh had to call all his wise men and his sorcerers to come and cast their own rod on the ground? How long? I mean, obviously, I'm quite sure that probably he has to tell one of the servants, guys, go and call my wise men. They're probably sitting out somewhere or hanging out somewhere. So they had to come all the way. So that means at that time frame, the rod was right there as a snake. What is it doing? Taking a cheap pill and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait. Like, what was the snake doing? It's like this question is just like, they fascinate me. To people, so maybe to some people might be like, yeah, it's just a snake, yeah. But to me, I'm like, yeah, it's a snake. But what is the snake just doing there? Was it like, what kind of authority was it on to know what to do? Do you know what I mean? And then let's say 5, 10, max 10 minutes all the sorcerers had to come and the wise men had to come and they all queued up. And then Pharaoh's like, ta-da! Guess what, Pharaoh? You become the wise men as well. You two become the magician, or I don't know, witchcraft. Because the sorcerers is in that aspect, wizard, witchcraft. You know, they do supernatural stuff, and and then they all do it, and all of them, they're snakes. They're all of them, their rod turned into a snake. Oh boy, this is just so interesting. And then guess what happened? Aaron's rod decided to get hungry. Decided to get hungry. And what did he do when he got hungry? He sees all the other rods that are turned into a snake, and then he saw them as food. Food. Oh, I that that story just it amazes me a lot. And so imagine that. Let's try to picture Pharaoh, a mighty, like one of, like, it was so mighty back then that if we were to number the wise men and the sorcerers they have, I'm not gonna assume it's gonna be like 20, 30. So let's just say for the record, a hundred wise men, because for a man like that, he will definitely have loads of those kind of people around him. So let's just say 100, just for the record, 100. Think about one snake swallowing 100 other snakes. Like, it's like, I'm trying to picture this out, and I'm wondering, what was it like? 20 minutes swallowing them up, 1 hour. Just imagine this, right? All the snakes are there live. So they have to, like, it's like they have to take turn. So the first snake goes, the Aaron snake sees the first one, meat number one, eat it. And then the ones have to wait there. And they'll be like, oh yeah, it's our turn. Look, it's my turn. The Bible talks about Christians that are supposed to be doing greater works than him. I've not seen any person yet that can boldly come out and say, okay, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he died on the cross. I believe that he was raised on the third day by the Holy Spirit of God. I want to show you something. Yeah. Cast, I don't know, maybe it could be a rod, it could be a cup, it could be an iron, it could be whatever. Please show me some supernatural, okay? But we don't have that. All we have is the worship and the praise. Not that I'm against that. But where is the supernatural? We are the children of God. Where is it? Where is it? You know what's so funny is that, if you look through internet, you're definitely gonna see some strange things that people do. For people, it's an entertainment, but when they see Christians do it, they say, even Christians, some Christians say, oh, he's worshiping the devil. Can you imagine that? If today I go to a church and I take a book, whatever, and just cast it to the ground, and it turned into a snake, man, I'm out of that church. They're banning me. Definitely banning me. You know why? Because the church of today don't know anything. Absolutely nothing. Not judging them, my brothers and sisters in the Lord, of course. But we have to speak the truth. Today the church is all about feelings and money. I understand that people have struggles, and probably the struggles are too overwhelming to even be bothered about supernatural. But it was by the supernatural that God did so many wonderful, mighty things through Moses, through Jesus. Most of the stuffs were supernatural. That the Bible records that if they were to record all the things that Jesus did, all the books in the world is not enough to write it down. It's not enough. Can you imagine that? And one of the questions that I'm asking as well is, why did God choose snake? Apart from what we know about how the devil used a serpent to trick Eve and Adam and brought total chaos to the world, of course. But could it be that God was trying to pass a message to Pharaoh by saying that the symbol of snake as well in the Bible is being wise, being cunning? So it's almost as though the wisdom of the Egyptians versus the wisdom of God. And the wisdom of God, it all ate all this wisdom and swallowed it all up. That's the only conclusion I have to now. But it's such a strange event, you know. The supernatural kind of life I don't want to say terrifies me, but it's quite overwhelming because it's not something a lot of people are used to. The devil has been very smart to make people be so suppressed to their needs and simple things in the world, but also using science as a way to advance fantasies and, interesting things in the world. But when it comes to the supernatural, that's another level on its own. I wish I lived in a world where I see more of that. Now I'm going through that challenge as well. So, here we go.